This is Mark and Charity's Coffee Podcast.
Mark and Charity Coffee Podcast for a solemn Monday, September 19th. Got into the studio earlier this morning, like even earlier than earlier, which is a little bit after 4, because I thought that's when everything started over in Britain for Her Majesty's funeral procession. But it really didn't get going until about 4:45. Well, they were doing coverage. Like, don't kid yourself.
Yeah.
Cameras were up and they were giving you everything as the bagpipers were standing at attention, and they'd already been like nobody sees them getting out of the cars. Like, the cameras only catch them when they're ready to go. And it was about a half hour, and they gave a really good rundown. Did the BBC, that's what I was watching on YouTube, the BBC coverage, and then caught the moment when they literally saw the lead guy sort of bring himself to attention, barked out in order, and the 100 gentlemen behind him, or maybe perhaps women, to attention, and then the march began, and he said, "And so begins the procession." It's like, that was the moment. It was about 4:45 this morning, our time. So
you
it's
say
about 10:10.
but I imagine it was to the second, because they did last week when they moved her from, when they moved the Queen, when she was continuing her travels, and they were taking her to Buckingham Palace. I think they said they left exactly at 2:22 from the cathedral that they had been at, so they could be at Buckingham exactly at 3 o'clock. Like, they have them marching down, and we watched it today. That marching, holy cow! Yep. Everything's in sync. Everything is timed. It's precise. It is so precise. It's so fascinating to watch. As you said, yes, very somber feeling, but also fascinating. Absolutely fascinating.
2,000 people in Westminster? In
Westminster, where the service was held. So it got underway at 6 a.m. this morning, our time, which would have been 11 a.m. in London. And yes, there were they expected 2,000 people in attendance in the church. The procession, I can't even guess. How many were involved in it, though, too? Wow. And there were members from around the world. As we saw, our very own Mounties led the procession from Westminster to Windsor, or the Ark, where she was then carried into the hearse, and then the hearse will carry her to Windsor, because that's very long.
Another 25K.
yeah, the King's not going to walk that. But they did walk 5 kilometers through the streets of London from Westminster to the arch itself. But it was incredible to watch. Incredible.
It is amazing that, let's call it out, there is nobody more precise than the British. They have got, that's why the British Empire lasted hundreds of years. Lots of reasons why, but they got everything down to the same. They are organized.
They're so steeped in tradition and ceremony and duty that, to watch that. And I watched too, because Prince George and Princess Charlotte were there today. And he's what, 9 or 10? And she's 7. So you got to think, when I'm watching this, it's one thing to sit through the hour-long service, but then to sit through an hour-long car ride, which is virtually like you're going at a snail's pace down the street. I'm thinking of my own children. There's no way they would sit quietly and without bugging each other, without a fight breaking out at some point, or an argument, or irritation, agitation. And they kept panning to the car that was carrying Kate and the kids and the Queen consort, Camilla. And they're both just sitting there, as proper as could be.
Cameras wrong. Car,
they
know.
And I understand that. They can't afford
to have a picture taken by somebody on a phone that shows them yawning.
I'm sure there will be. I'm sure there'll be something.
Exactly.
But here I think
they got to do everything they can to fight that.
And I appreciate the fact that they're involved. I'm not saying they shouldn't be involved. Of course they should be.
Right.
But they do it so well. They just do it all so well. I think the training and the talks they must have had beforehand.
I think from the time that they were born, that's just how it's all instilled, and they wouldn't know any other way.
True.
Wouldn't know any other way.
Well, and it's been said, and there were interviews done, especially with William when he met Catherine, when he met Kate, how different their lives actually were, and how she introduced him to, you don't always have to wear khakis. Like you can wear comfy pants and just a more relaxed side of
Right.
life. But no, when it comes to certain instances, case in point today, we got to put our big boy pants on, and we got to behave in such a way and
And
work.
as you said, for them, it's also grandma.
Exactly.
Great grandma, in that case, great grandma.
Oh.
And, but not all great grandmas have this type of a funeral.
No.
So you also have to remind them of the history and the family and the responsibility that you carry. And if they can get that at 7, then good on them.
My heart did break for them over the weekend, not George and Charlotte, but the grandchildren of Queen Elizabeth who stood vigil at her wake, essentially. Over the weekend, they stood there for 15 minutes in complete silence, and how they walked in and stood there. You feel for them. This is their granny. This is their...
But again, so precise.
Oh, so precise. Like they had the marching day.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Anyway,
It is amazing.
It is amazing.
History is being made.
As always, I want to know now what, and so it was when's the coronation, and for King Charles III, it will be. Well, we'll just say spring 2023. I mean, I know it would seem pretty callous if it was Wednesday, but he has already done the paperwork, so there is no question as to who is the king of England. He is. Yeah. But the actual ceremonial coronation, which will include the crowning and everything, will be spring. Nicer weather. What, May?
I am surprised
late April,
by that.
May, June of next year. So 8-9 months from now.
You say callous, but I really did expect it to be over the next couple of weeks. Like, get it done. Do it. I didn't, and I'm assuming it was the same for the Queen. I thought there was less of a gap.
Yeah.
When her father passed, I thought it was boom.
Because think in terms of what happened November 22nd, 1963, and the picture of the vice president swearing on the Bible beside Jacqueline Kennedy with the blood on her coat after John F. Kennedy had been assassinated within minutes. That has to be done, I get it. But there was a picture of that. And if that doesn't draw the startleness of what can happen, then, okay, the fact that, this wonderful woman was 96, it's tragic, it's solemn, but it wasn't tragic like tragic, that they can say now, breathe, Europe or England can breathe, and then we'll have the coronation in the spring. And that continues to be a wonderful tradition.
Because he did sign the papers, the day after?
But the exploding pen, sorry, Your Highness. Sorry, Your Majesty. Oh, my gosh. My world for a bick, It also kind of broke my heart. And it can be related, I think, to other families. But there wasn't that, I kept watching William and Harry because they're forefront as well. Again, they were right behind their father following the casket. But I look at them and I think there isn't... As everybody keeps saying they hope that this would bring the family together, it was clear that bond between them wasn't there, that something was fractured. It's a family, right?
Yeah, and that really, my hope is that this will bring them together, but it's just a sad day.
And William, for all of his goodness, in the back of his head is afraid of the moment when he has to walk a step forward.
Oh, certainly. Behind
his father's casket and wear the crown. That's got to be in his head. I'm sure he's not hoping for it. No. And even, the BBC talked this morning about that awesome responsibility that weighs on you.
Because now you're that much closer. The next time you walk behind a casket, it most likely will be your father. And so, and he's 73 years old. Yeah. And he just walked 5 kilometers through London behind his mother.
It won't be 70 years. Let's put it that way between these. So.
No, he's going to be king a lot sooner than his father.
Long live the king, though, King Charles III.
Didn't that get you, though, when they played God Save the Queen?
I didn't see it. Was that on this morning?
Did you hear it?
No.
You walked. I was playing it when they put Queen Elizabeth in the hearse and they were driving away to Windsor. They started playing God Save the Queen, which I had been waiting for to hear it at some point. That really got me, and I thought, now it's going to be God Save the King. Yep. God Save the King. And we've already heard the chants, and as you just said, long live the King.
So that was, of course, obviously a big part of our day of mourning today. But then there was some celebrating. 2 groups mainly celebrated. Maureen and Lori had the pleasure this morning of ushering the animals into the brand new location of the Quinte Humane Society, which, as I said on a podcast earlier last week, I lived on the roof of the radio station downtown like 20 years ago to raise money for what they hoped would be upgrades to the old location and maybe, cross your fingers, a building of a new location, which was a pipe dream 20 years ago. And it is a realization today.
Today they opened their doors to the public. So we thought we'd give her a call and see how it was going to go today. It's felt like it's taken so long to get here, Marilyn, I'm sure. But today is the day. You open your doors to this brand new building and we all get to come in and love some pets.
Absolutely. I have to tell you, the staff, the board, the volunteers, and the animals, we are all so excited to be inviting the public into our new forever home.
Well, it's been very exciting to watch the build. As I've said to you before, I drive by it every day. So to see the progress and to see it come together, what was it like to bring that first animal in? What was it like?
Well, the first animal was a dog named Flash. Gotta say, there were a couple of us that maybe had lumps in our throats. But
Yeah.
Flash came in as led by one of our animal care attendants, and we got him all settled in a kennel. And then there were the rest of the dogs in the big truck. Critter Cabs was very generous to us. They're a volunteer group that drives animals all across the province, so they were able to make their trailer available. So we had a trailer full of dogs arrive, and the next day the felines started to come in. The cats and the rabbits arrived.
Okay, we're talking to Marilyn Lloyd, the Executive Director of the Quinte Humane Society, starting today in their brand new location on Wallbridge Loyalist Road. Give us a quick from where you were to where you are now. How much bigger, how much brighter? What sort of features do you have that you'd never had before?
Oh, gosh. Well, we have space. We have room to welcome the community in. Speaking of the community, we have a brand new community room where we can present our programming. It's also going to be available for rentals to individuals, groups, organizations in the community. The animals have so much better accommodations. We've got space to store things. We've got rooms. Our cat and our dog rooms all have sink storage right in the room. So that prevents a lot of the animal care attendants walking back and forth and back and forth and back and forth getting supplies. It's bright, it's cheery, it's clean, and we could not be more thrilled. Today is most certainly a momentous day.
We're going to pop in at some point and we're going to film some stuff. Can we do that?
Absolutely. You give me a call in advance and we will set that all up for you.
All right.
So now that you're in the new building, Marilyn, and today's a big day. I don't want to gloss over that by any means, but you also have a big event coming up in about a month. Now that you're in the new building, you can concentrate on the Wiggle Waggle Walkathon.
Absolutely, because, we may have just, done the most massive move ever in the history of the former Quinte Humane Society.
Not since Noah's Ark have so many animals.
Just about. But yes, it's business as usual. We certainly do have our Wiggle Waggle Walkathon a little bit later this year, Saturday, October 15th, 10 to 2. We're back at Westwick Park. We've got a new element this year of encouraging people to put teams together, teams of 5 walkers, and sort of compete against one another. There'll certainly be top team prizes. We've got Belleville Police Services, fire, and ambulance, all putting teams together.
How can people get involved then? Do they contact you to register for the walk if they want to participate?
If they can go to we're still our old email, our old website address, QuinteHumaneSociety.com, and I think the first image that comes up is Wiggle Waggle. If you click on that, then you can join. You can still join as an individual walker. You can put a team together. And we're also encouraging people, even if you don't have a dog, come on down. We're going to have a live band, and we're going to have a whole vendor fair. I think over 20 vendors so far. There could even be more. And food. So just come on down on a beautiful, what I know is going to be a beautiful fall day in Belleville. Thank you for your time, Mark and Charity. And just please know that we are just so excited to finally have reached this milestone.
I can't wait to pull in and see cats on ledges. See cats on ledges.
Wave to them.
Yeah, hi there, kitty. And then the paw goes up and then, turn around and leave? I can't do that.
I know.
I know. They're so cute.
They're so
cute.
much fun.
So we're going to look forward to doing that. Also this week, we're going to be heading out to Tim Hortons and decorating smile cookies. We do that this week. I call them emoji cookies because is that a smile? Well, it's something. I'm just not a good artist.
Well,
That's
as I
all.
joked this morning, you could come and buy a limited edition Mark and Charity cookie later this week.
You guessed the expression.
I don't. Yeah.
and
you
good for
get
you.
a cookie.
Take a picture, put it on social media, and say, "Guess who decorated these?" We did.
We did. 2 grown
Look at the
adults.
size of those eyes. What is that? Unibrow? Where'd that come from?
But all for a good cause, of
All
course.
great cause.
Proceeds going to local charities here in Belleville, the YMCA, of course, Trenton, their Memorial Hospital Foundation, and some other great organizations in the Quinte area benefiting from Smile Cookies this week.
And if you laced it up on Sunday for the Terry Fox Run in Belleville, you were doing your best to get us to $1 million raised locally throughout the entire history. The almost 40 years, just over 40 years?
81, yeah. So just
we were
over
one of the
40
first
years.
ones,
Yep.
too. We were in the first year for the Terry Fox Run. Not every community had one in 1981. So looking to eclipse that $1 million mark, how close do we get? Vicky Samaras, the organizer, on the show this morning.
Hello, Vicki speaking.
Hello, Vicky. It's
Hi,
Mark and
Vicky.
Charity Morning. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
We're great. How are your feet?
Oh, well, hey, I told you I'm allergic to running, so I was at the pavilion hosting everybody and greeting and chatting.
Right.
So my feet are fine.
Vicky
Good for
Samaras
you,
is here,
Vicky.
organizer of the Terry Fox Run yesterday. And if you were there, you couldn't help but have seen her and been infused with her enthusiasm.
How did it go yesterday, Vicky?
It was amazing. So, first you're back after a long hiatus because of this pandemic thing that happened around the world, and we had no idea what to expect. A lot of people were away. A lot of people who traditionally attend the run, and sadly we've lost 2 big people who were a part of Terry's Marathon of Hope from the beginning. We lost both of them in May to cancer, so having their absence was really felt. So I didn't know, but we had a ton of people. We had our usual 215. We had a lot of volunteers, and we had a lot of donations from the community. And we raised over $36,000.
Wow, nice.
Oh, Vicky.
Just saying it.
Oh.
And we said that we need to eclipse at least 40,000 to get to that $1 million mark, all told throughout all of them. And we still have schools to go. So we're going to get there this year.
I hope so. I really do. And, either way, anything we raise will go to cancer research. So it's a win either way. But yes, wouldn't it be nice if we hit $1 million in Belleville?
Oh, my God. It'd be amazing. Now, the schools, as Mark just said, they still have to come. That's going to happen this Friday?
Correct.
If anybody can donate between now and then, how do they do that?
terryfox.org, and then you choose Belleville as your run site. It is so easy to do. So it's the first thing. You click on the Terry Fox Run, and then if your child or grandchild or your nephew, your niece, anybody you're friends with, if their kid attends a local school, you can click on the school by clicking Terry Fox School Run. So it's really clear at the top.
Or check the bottom of the backpack because there's a piece of paper down there. Oh, yeah, right. I forgot to mention that. So that's going on. We salute all the schools, too. On Friday, they're going to do it. It's going to get an amazing milestone if we can get those dollars to come in. And people like Vicky and all of your sponsors have made it work this weekend. Nice work, and thanks on behalf of a grateful community for everything you did.
Great job, Vicky.
Thank you. But, it's really the volunteers. It's really the fundraisers and the participants. And it's really the local businesses. I mean, even Colin Campbell from Campbell's Orchard showed up at 7 in the morning, even though right now it's his prime time. And he said today is the day we're picking all the Macintosh apples. So he came and dropped a bushel off for the community, and then we had Bob Doyle of McDonald's donates 300 muffins and donuts and 300 cups of coffee. We had so many people donate food. Weston Bakery dropped off 200 bagels. Even the chef from Midtown Brewery came and cooked up breakfast. So it was really nice. And Reed's Dairy dropped off chocolate milk, which, we tried to keep them out of the adults' hands because they were for the kids.
I know. But however, it's really good
It's
for
chocolate
protein.
milk.
That's right. It's good for protein. Vicky,
good
thank
for
you.
running, you're right.
Thank you so much. I know you get 1 day off and then 364 days to start planning next year. I know.
But guess what? Next year, save the date. So it's the third Sunday of September. I think it's the 17th, 2023. And we're going to go with a 1980s theme.
Okay.
Oh, I can't wait.
At $1 million, we're going to reset that button back to 1980. So get out your leg warmers, get out those McEnroe headbands and wristbands, Get out your fluorescent
Neon.
anything you got.
Yeah.
Neon. That's right. That's what I meant.
What do you mean, get out? I've never put it away. Vicky Samaras, organizer of yesterday's Terry Fox run in Belleville, and to all of those in the area, whatever runs you took part in, it's all for a great cause. Vicky, once again, thank you so much.
My pleasure. And thank you for helping me spread the word.
And yeah, going to have to pull out the leg warmers, the neon, the unitard, maybe a headband or two. Might even frizz my hair depending on what the weather is. Might not have to. It might be humid enough. But the 80s themed Terry Fox run next year is going to be so much fun, and we'll keep our fingers crossed. Friday, you still have time to donate, and we'll hit that $1 million mark. How incredible would that be? It would be amazing. So get on and donate.
Kids, grandkids, whatever you've got that's heading back to school on Friday, taking part, ask them today, is the Terry Fox run on Friday? Then they're going to say, I don't know. Then you get them to look it up on the website, and then they'll say, oh, yeah, it is. And then you can make a donation.
Exactly.
So if we are true to that 36,000, then within about $4,000 or $5,000 needs to be raised. We can do that.
So easy.
All the schools,
we can do that.
$10, $20 per child. Get one in there, get some money, grandmas and grandpas, help them out for a great cause. It all helps to the Terry Fox Foundation. Or go to terryfox.org, look up your child's school. You can use your credit card that way. And then it's not even a real donation. It's not real money. It's just like numbers, right?
Is that what it is?
That's what I tell my wife. Like, I don't have money. I have this. So I do this. And then people give me things. And then she goes home and she moves numbers from this account over to that account. And then everything's fine. It's not even real money. It's just donations. So just do that. It's great. Put lots in.
You know, if every person in the Quinte area just donated $2,
I know.
we'd be there.
That'd be another $100,000.
Boom.
If everybody around here gave 10, that'd be $500,000.
Gosh.
In the Quinte region, there's 120,000 people in the Quinte region of Ontario. If everybody gave $5 for the Terry Fox run, so in your family, if you're a family of 5, I don't expect the 3-year-old to have it, but fine, $5 for everybody there, that would be $600,000. We can get there. Another $5 or $6 grand on Friday, piece of cake.
Certainly.
Piece of cake.
Belleville General Hospital Foundation did it over the weekend.
$700,000.
What a weekend in the Quinte area. My God.
It was nice.
That's incredible.
It was great. And then this morning we had a winner with Fraser Pays. We had a winner with Beat the Bank. We had a winner on Galaxy of Games. It was an enormous day. Thanks for being a part of it. And as the day of mourning continues, and a great learning opportunity for the children to take a look at all that went on today. It's the Mark and Charity Coffee Podcast. Back at it again tomorrow. Jimmy Hollywood is going to have a take-home Tuesday. Fraser Pays. Register if you haven't done so on our website. All when you wake up tomorrow morning with Mark and Charity here on 95.5 Hits FM.